I've been taking cold showers for a little bit over a year now, and I can confidently say that it is doable, even in winter. All of these excuses you make about yourself of not having a cold shower, it's all in the mind, really. For example, something that I see amongst the people that are trying to get into cold showers is that trying it for 30 days or trying it for a few days. I don't think you can do that, to be honest. Treating it as like an experimental thing is like having a back door out, like 1 foot in and 1 foot out, if you know what I mean. So that just on a psychological level tells your brain that you aren't really gonna stick with it. And in case you didn't know the benefits of a cold shower, it improves your stress tolerance by an insane amount because you are willing to have all your muscles stress and tense up in a cold shower. It kills depression and it boosts testosterone and it boosts your cold tolerance. So one of the funny things is that obviously I'm Asian. One of the funny things when I'm going out with one of my mom's friends on a I don't know family trip, yeah, I wear shorts and t-shirts, whereas they are wearing jackets. And every single time, don't get every single time I do this because I take cold showers. They are shocked. They're all like, "Oh, you're from another planet. Oh, you're." This is obviously rough translation into English. They're saying this in my language, but they're like calling me an alien or whatever. But I guess I can take that as a compliment. You also have an immunity to the common cold. So you see people getting this cold and they're coughing, they're getting fevers, they're sneezing, hay fever, whatever, right? Actually, I'm not sure about hay fever. Scrap that part. But with all of these little, if you will, common colds, right? If you take cold showers, you have insane immunity amongst them. So, me, for example, compared to my mother, obviously there's a age difference, whatever, diet difference. But when it comes down to when I get sick, one day it's gone. Little itchy throat, right? Little sneeze sometimes. Two days, 1 or 2 days, gone. And there's tons of proof online as well of people saying that they completely can't get ill ever again to the common cold. As opposed to my mother, which takes hot showers, unlike the rest of us Sigma males. She would have the same sickness as mine, and it would take her a week or so to recover fully. Another benefit is it boosts muscle recovery to an insane amount. Now, it is important to take into note that if you do work out on a consistent basis, do not take a cold shower like 30 minutes after your workout. Some people even say that you shouldn't take a cold shower after your workout for like hours. But I think those people are just not disciplined. I think they're just trying to make excuses, to be honest. Because in that few hours they'll just take a hot shower and then be done with it. But it boosts muscle recovery because it reduces inflammation. Now, I know it sounds counterintuitive. It sounds a bit off there because the cold stops inflammation and inflammation is the actual thing that like builds your muscle or whatever, but trust me, it builds muscles. A cold shower is also a key practice in building a key practice in delay key practice in delaying gratification and practicing the delaying of gratification. So, what I mean by that is you get into the shower, you experience pain first. Everything tenses up. I'm sure you know how that feels. If you tried it, that is. Everything tenses up, but then straight after the cold shower stops, you feel grateful. You feel like you accomplished something, a mini win in your life. Maybe a big win, depending on how many times you've done it. For me, it's like a little like reset nowadays. It's yeah. But you get out of the shower, you get that like adrenaline hit, you get your brain reset, like refreshed, if you will, and you feel like the man. Now, I'll go a little bit more in depth on my story here. My story on why I started cold showers is a traumatic one. I received a trauma that took me 3 years. It was a health implication or something. It was basically, I thought I had a terminal disease for around 3 years. I know 3 years is insane. You're probably thinking right now, 3 years, how have you not, in that 3 years, how have you not found a solution? I found a solution, thank God. I'm still here. And no, I didn't have that terminal disease, so it's pretty good. But all of these little biohacky things, my restrictive diet or whatever, all these healthy things, what really made me like cold shower? So what really made me do this cold shower is, of course, the 3 year trauma. But I think he's called Wim Hof. I'm sure you've probably heard of him if you're trying to get into cold showers, but he doesn't tell you to try the cold showers or incorporate it in your monk mode protocol for 30 days. He fully embraces it and takes out the hot shower to the cold shower. Basically, his whole life is just cold, which is cold. All right. Now, Wim Hof and all of these little like niche health gurus, I want to say gurus, just health people. So getting into keto, carnivore diet, biohacking, all of those things, right? I guess if you know about NoFap and the NoFap timeline, day 7 you start levitating or whatever, right? I will describe to you a timeline that I've made in my mind of my journey, and so from that I think you can get a rough estimate of when you're going to experience the shifts, I guess you could say. So for a few months, I know this sounds terrible, right? A few months you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer in the cold shower. You're going to experience the same thing every day. But throughout those, like, let's just give it like 4 months, right? 4 months. Throughout that 4 months, right? This is coming from my own experience. You go down a little bit. You go down a little bit, right? Like that. And then you stay on this baseline. Of course, you go in the cold shower, it still hurts. But once you're down here, you stay down here if you're consistent. And something in your brain, I think it's called the neural pathways. The neural pathways in your brain, they get used to you going in the cold shower. They get used to you doing the action and preparing yourself to go in the cold shower, therefore making it a little bit easier. But you still, of course, feel the insane drop in temperature on your skin. And so throughout these months, I think another important thing that I've experienced is you will have these times, right? These specific times. Let's say you've been on the couch all day long, or you've been tired, you're tired, or you just jumped in the ocean or something, it's extremely cold, you nearly caught hypothermia. These are all examples from my experience, right? And so you won't feel like doing the cold shower at all. You have some days where you're just completely, you're literally in the bathroom contemplating on whether you should take the hot shower or the cold shower. That is how bad it gets. But this is the important bit, right? But if you persist through, let's say you get one of those days for 20 days or so. 20 days of suffering, of course, dispersed throughout that 4 months. And you persist through every single one of those days. You will unlock nirvana. You will unlock this insane ability to not care anymore. One, you don't give a shit anymore. You completely do not care about the cold. You go in, it's supposed to feel bad, but it's not that bad anymore. It really isn't. So it does actually get easier with time. A lot of these people nowadays will say that, oh, it doesn't get easier with time. It still feels like shit every time you go in the cold showers. No. I'm telling you, if you've gone to the same position as I have, as over a year or so, you don't feel like the tense in your muscles anymore, because your muscles know that the only water that they feel on their skin is cold. And so number two would be that you build this identity around yourself if you persist through every day, right? This identity of a cold shower taker, right? This identity, the more you persist and the longer you do the cold showers every day for, the better and the more enforced this identity gets enforced into you. This compounds, right? This compounds to make you even more of a cold shower taker identity. So what this identity actually does is it gives you this background for in the back of your head every time you try to shift the water, even to the lukewarm, even to the neutral body temperature, slightly cold, or worst case scenario, hot. You will get shame in your brain from this identity that you've built. It will shame you, and it will be like, oh, well, I'll lose all my progress. I'll become a hot shower taker again. I won't be taking cold showers ever again. It'll be harder to climb back up the ladder. That is what this identity will provide for you, provided that you persist through that timeline of suffering. And don't just think of suffering right now. Don't just think of the suffering, right? It should be extremely easy now. Now that we're approaching summer, if you're in the UK, it's getting pretty hot. So to recap, you can build this insane identity that won't let you down, will shame you and guilt shame in the circumstance that you go and try and take a hot shower. There is hot weather now, and it should be much easier for you to get in. Don't think of the hot weather as this is the perfect scenario for me to do it. I can only do it when there's hot weather. Don't think of the hot weather as like that. Think of it as oh, that's nice. It's hot weather. I'm gonna have it easier today. Number three, it is insanely easy to incorporate cold showers as a habit because you already have a time allocation for it. Something they don't tell you about incorporating habits is it's very hard to incorporate a habit if you don't have a time slot for it. If you're just saying, oh, I have to meditate 10 minutes a day, but you don't even allocate it to a specific time, let's say after school when you get back home, or at the beginning of your work block, then it would be easier. But if you're just saying 10 minutes a day, you won't. It's likely that you won't succeed in that habit. But as for the cold shower, whenever you take a shower, right, which is like for me every day, whenever you take the shower, you just make it cold. So you already have that as an advantage. And once you go through that 4-month period of suffering, I guess you could say, you consider it a normal thing now. And you consider hot showers as the enemy. The position of the cold shower, this scary thing that you have to do once in a while, right? Into the hot shower is the thing that is scary for you now. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? Now, I want to give you a tip that has personally helped me get through all of the perseverance, all of the suffering days of, oh, it's so warm, but I'm gonna blast the heaters while I creep in for a lukewarm shower. No. I'm going to teach you this one tip that will make your life so much easier, honestly. This is the thing that's helped me the most. Build a routine, a mini routine once you're in the shower. Build a routine for the cold water to hit your skin. This sounds almost weird, right? Out of order, but what I mean by this is, I'll just go through my routine. Take your shower head. Go through your legs first, because your legs, they just don't give a shit. You know for a fact your feet, like anything cold hits your feet first, you can take it in. It's fine. So I go for the feet first. up the legs, and then I put it back up to the holder. Then what I do is get my hands, make them wet, wash my face, and then I submerge my hair in so that it doesn't like get on my back or whatever, or get on my chest. Then, and only then, I flick my hair back. I put this right shoulder in first. So this right shoulder, I go like this in the shower. This is like the stream of water, and then this, and then from then on, everything's much easier. Obviously, like, and the thing is with the routine is you have to build your own. You can try mine first, but I think everyone has their own routine to go through, if you will. Before this routine that I've developed, right, for each cold shower, especially when it's hard, I tested a lot of different, like, your body changes in a weird way. I used to, for a short period of time, straight up just go in, just charge it. So it's really about finding what works best for you, what the routine of the water hitting your skin is. And so I hope this, the order of this video, at least in the recording, is a little bit unorganized. So I have to do some editing. But I hope this isn't as confusing, and I hope I've convinced you a little bit more on how to take cold showers. In a bit, bro. Yo, bro, thanks for watching the video. I'm actually just editing this video right now, and I actually forgot to mention something about the cold showers, is that you have to get this specific shot in your head. For me personally, anyways, I have to get this shot to my head, right, with the cold water to actually feel the adrenaline shot and restore the brain points. So this shot is basically you just stand under the water hose like it's a waterfall, and it directly goes into the top middle of your head, and then it rains down from your whole body, and then you can choose whether or not you want it on your back or your front. And then if you can stay in that position for like, I don't know, 7 seconds, then you can actually, that is the actual, like, call it money shot. Yeah, the money shot, sure, why not? But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you actually watched this far, 16 minutes or something, then feel free to comment down below Discord, and I might make a Discord, or I might make, actually, I don't know about that. I'm still thinking on that part. In a bit, bro.